You all right, Dan?
Hello, Shaunus Maximus. All okay?
All okay, yeah.
Good. I got fucking hay fever's kicking off.
It's that bit of year, isn't it? We're starting to. I mean, I'm lucky it's gone. My hay
It's
fever.
like you said earlier, everything's in bloom, and it made me think of that fantastic Nirvana song.
That's a tune, isn't it?
It is a tune.
Yeah.
It is a tune. I think it was recorded on tape.
I think it probably would have been. Yeah.
What we're looking at today?
Today, Dan, we are looking at a plugin from Pulsar Modular, and it's the P821 Mdn tape.
Let's find out, is it? I'm impressed. If you can come up with any more ways to say
Or shit.
well, you say
How many
shit.
different ways have you said shit, Dad?
Pardon?
Thousands.
Yeah, probably.
Thousands and thousands.
Probably.
Right. So, Mark Daniel Nelson is his name, engineer who did a plugin a while back, which was it was like the API sidecar thing, and it was very well received. I think we quite liked it. Very analogy sounding. Did that thing of giving your tracks that analog vibe at the end. They're back with the P821 Mdn tape. And this is based on a tape machine which apparently he owned or owns, which was called the Stevens Electronics 821A, which was a very weird tape machine in that it didn't have transformers, it didn't have a capstan, and it didn't have a pinch roller. And if you open this plugin's top bit, you can see what it used to look like, and it does look odd. The middle section, there's no pinch rollers at the sides.
No.
It goes straight from the tape reels across the head and straight to the other reel, which apparently made it incredibly pure. There was a lot less wow and flutter and all that stuff, apparently. I never used one, never seen one in the flesh, heard about them, read about them, never seen one. Anyway, this is them modelling that. And the various flavours of tape that he was using, and with the various controls that mean you can basically get the sound of that tape machine in his studio in yours. That's what it's designed to do.
Okay.
So, what else do we need to say? A couple of big albums were recorded on these tape machines back in the day. The Wall.
Who did that?
Pink Floyd.
I've heard that they are going to be massive.
I think they're going to be huge.
They are, yeah. I was watching a thing the other day about them. Remember when they floated the pig over...
I do remember
the
Battersea
Power Station.
Long time ago.
And they were saying that the roadies sent the pick up and there was a little bracket on.
Yeah.
And it just popped off and they were just about to start taking the pictures and it just floated off and disappeared over London straight into... I can't remember, one of the airport... straight into the flight path.
Well, London City Airport, I guess.
And then they got a phone call from a farmer somewhere. I believe it was in Kent. That's why I didn't say Heathrow.
Found your pig.
Yeah, it's scaring the shit out of my cows.
Well, it would. Flying pig.
Big pig, yeah. The roadies went, picked it up, reinflated it, and they just put it up the next day, and that's when they took all the pictures.
Wow. I mean, that's a story I never heard.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it was, there you go. The Wall was recorded on this then.
One of these.
Yeah.
And also Rumours by the old Fleetwood Mac.
Yes,
people.
Fleetwood Mac. Of course, Fleetwood Mac, one of our favourite bands, but Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both worked with Peter Green.
I wonder if the Cocaine, that's a Cocaine album, isn't it?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, amongst other things. Whatever was going, I would say. It's one of those
Cocaine and
albums.
Fanny Juice. Can I say that?
Oh, I'd rather you didn't.
No.
Just not a nice... Oh, good. Come on. I'm not going to eat
Okay,
now.
right. Good.
I'm glad I've had lunch. Because... Anyway. Can't get out of my head. Let's move on. So, let's have a look at it. So, from the front panel, the tape reels go round when you're using it, but let's ignore that for now. That's just going to use up CPU and stuff. Starting from the top left, right up here in this section here, you've got an undo button, you've got a phase flip, and you've got this little blue button there. That basically is like a width thing. So when it's set like you see it there, it's a very wide signal. This tape machine has a very wide sound. It's famous for it. I should mention Pulsar Modular sent us this, and they said in the blurb they sent us, be aware, it's very wide. Don't think it's broken. That's just how it sounds. You can narrow it a bit, and obviously you can put it in mono if you want. Top left, we have got very basic 2-band EQ, high and low. You can do pre or post. It's quite nice. You had listened to it earlier.
I
didn't
did,
you?
yeah. That high end's really nice, actually.
It's pretty smooth. We've then got the bias controls, which it's kind of similar to EQ. You have to experiment with it. By messing with the both, you can get some interesting results. You've got the big tape button, which basically turns it on. The through button doesn't bypass the whole plugin. It bypasses the tape section. But because it's a transformerless design, you're getting something, but it's not much. It's pretty clean. You've then got your input and output, which by default are linked. If you link them, the more you drive the input, the more the output comes down. You can get some interesting effects, as you'll see when I demo it later, by unlinking them, but really driving in, you get that proper full-on tape compression. Over to the right, we've got the tape formula and tape speed settings.
I was amazed at how different they sounded, the different tape
The top
formulas.
end goes nuts, doesn't it? It just goes really dark if you compress too much. But yeah, it does. You can get all those sort of flavours of tape compression. It's interesting. Only two types of tape. We've got the 900 and the 456. I used to record pretty much entirely on 456 when I was working with tape, and always at 30 inches per second. You can drop it down to 15 inches per second and it's a more obvious tape sound. If you're trying to get the effect of tape and you want to hear it, 15 is a good place to start. Setting it on 930 inches per second is very clean. It will give you probably the kind of setting you'll need for mastering. If you want to give it a tape vibe, but you don't really want to hear it too much, you just want a little bit of that, 930 is the way to go. Down the bottom, we have got a lo-fi section. You turn that on by clicking on the LED, and then basically it's like a telephone filter almost. You can wind off all the bottom or all the top, and it kind of sounds very lo-fi. Good for messing around with stuff. The modulation section, if the flange button is off, you've got your wow and your flutter, the over the top tape damage kind of things. When your tape machine's set up wrong, you get what's called wow and flutter, and it's a bit like a tremolo kind of vibe. Again, interesting if you're trying to mess things up.
It's nothing like being wowed by a flange.
You are just a walking viz annual, aren't you?
Well,
You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't, no. But it's just some of these names.
What was his name? And his double entendres? That's you, isn't it? Was it Norman Flanders and his double entendre? I can't remember his name. Something like that. Anyway, let's get it over with. There's a big flange button. And when you push it, those controls control the flange, which is nice.
Wow.
Again, turn it off with the modulation LED. Over the other side, we have tape delay, so we can use this to get tape delay effects. Again, turn it on with the LED. You got your feedback control, your blend control, and then if you start messing with offset, as you'll hear on the demo, it all goes out of time and goes a bit crazy.
So could you do sort of dubby stuff with that tape delay?
You absolutely could. Yeah, you could automate this and get some really good
link
stuff.
it to a pot on your controller.
100%. Yeah, and you got high pass and low pass on that, so you can make each generation get worse, and you can set your tape speed for it, your inches per second, right down to 7.5.
Very cool.
Real dubby, old school, quarter inch kind of sound. We can open up an extra panel, which is that one at the bottom with those extra bits we just talked about. You can open up the one at the top where you can see the tape. There's no extra controls up there.
It's a nice looking plugin.
It is, and they do sort of specialise in nice looking plugins.
Because we used to confuse them with Pulsar.
Two different companies.
Yeah, they're still going.
Yeah. Pulsar do, the 8200 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, two different companies.
Pulsar Modular slightly different. Yeah, they make some really nice plugins, but they also have a website which doesn't quite work all the time. There's a few issues. Some of their demos won't download. I have issues on their website sometimes. But yeah, this is a nice looking plugin. They go to town on making it look nice.
It's just the lights on those LEDs there and the reflection.
They really flicker, these lights as well when you're using it. Yeah, they really flicker. It's full on. It looks like it's a bit knackered, old tape machine in the corner. Maybe they ought to employ the guy that does the GUI to maintain the website. That's not a bad shout. Yeah, he's obviously good at what he does. In the 3 lines section over there's some extra controls, one of which is hiss. You can get rid of the hiss. I would advise you to get rid of the hiss. Tape sounds nice, but you don't want the hiss generally, unless you're using it for an effect. Demo wise, 15 days. Excellent. Price, what do you reckon? Have you cheated and looked? No, I haven't cheated and looked. I think this is going to be an expensive plugin. We've looked at some. I can remember 3 tape emulators that actually have the tape reels that go round. Yes. This is, I would say, I've also had you've showed me this one, so yep, I've heard it. It looks amazing. It's Pulsar Modular. It's going to be pricey. Okay, $179. Yeah, which is, I think that's properly punchy. It's properly, because
You think it's too much?
Yeah. I think there's going to be fans. I know there are fans of this company who will want to get this because, you know, they did such a good job with the API sidecar thing. Sorry, there are people that will want to go and get this because they know that they've developed this reputation of making nice sounding plugins. I do think it's good. I'm not sure I'd want to pay $179 for it.
No. Okay. Well, I'm going to surprise you.
Ooh.
Duh. No. It's. I think it looks great, and I think if it's one of those plugins. I think perhaps if you're working on an album like. Yeah. That you wanted that rumours sound.
Yeah.
You can hear the tape.
Yeah, you invest in this as part of the project, and then it's not much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the delay.
Yep.
Addition to it.
Yep.
Maybe because I've heard it, the demo that you'll see at the end.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you'll hear it. It does sound pretty damn good.
It's a chunk of cash. Don't get me wrong.
It's a chunk of cash.
I think it could bring an element of class to my otherwise classless mixes.
Recordings. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I put it into Plugin Doctor, and it's quite clean until you give it some.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very clean sounding tape machine, which is what they were famous for.
Well, you got 15 days to go and have a go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Sean, in your opinion, mine aside, is the Pulsar Modular P821 Mdn tape shit?
No, I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can call it shit. It sounds pretty damn good. Whether it sounds any better than the one from UAD we looked at not long ago, it's just a bit different.
Yeah.
Does it sound any different to PSP saturation plugin when you set that to the tape mode? A little bit different. I wouldn't say it's the holy grail of tape. No. It's not. But it does what it says it does, and it's all right.
Okay, jolly good. Well, check out the demo at the end.
The demo coming up.
But before you do that, please like the video.
And maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member, or both.
Check out the Instagram, Studio Life 101.
Lovely.
Sorry.
Then we also have a website, and we have our plugin top 5, and there's some courses, and we have another channel. If you want to go and watch us talk rubbish about other stuff, you can do that too. And we will see you
next time. Sayonara, suckers.
Adios.